So here we're seeing that absolute positioning in play. Now there will be times where your absolute positioning will come in handy. Now I also want to go ahead here and set up our absolute positioning for our header. Right now the header is sitting where it is, and if you notice here, the edge of our box here is not really lining up with the edge of our text. We're going to control that by adding in some of our properties. So I'll go ahead and just grab a chunk of that and copy it, take it down to our header. I'll paste that in. And again, I want to make it so that it will line up appropriately. So I want the top to be 10 pixels from the top, and from the left I want it to be 10 pixels. So it's going to line up appropriately. And I need to adjust my width here so that it will take up enough space to span all the way across both of our boxes. So I do 660, and also I'll go ahead and set up a border on this so that we can see what's going on. So I'll do solid 1px black. I'll save and refresh. Now we're seeing an overlap here because we have some default margins and padding on our different elements, and if we remove those, as well as removing the borders, it's going to get closer to what we want. I just put the borders on there so that we can see where in fact it ends and where it begins. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back in there, and I'll remove the borders from both of those elements. And save and refresh it. And there we have the design that we're more or less looking for. Now notice as I scroll the page, the header stays up at the top. Now we can actually change how that works by jumping in here and changing our position to fixed. So if I just change position to fixed on that, save it, come back in here and refresh, whenever I move down the page, notice how our header stays with us. So that's essentially how you're going to be able to create a nice persistent navigation. Now in fact, we may not really want to do that with our header after all. Maybe we want to do it with our first column, because that might be a list of links. So I come over here and set that to fixed, save that, and refresh. When I move down, it moves with us. So that's pretty handy. Actually, it's quite handy. Now that concludes our look at the absolute position property and the fixed position property.